What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Oh my God, it's 2017. I don't even want to think about where the time went. Um, Interesting. I titled this Playing the Game of Tap In. And before I kind of get into exactly what that game is, and it's something I've been doing for a little bit now. What's up, everybody? Hi. Uh, I want to tell a little bit of a quick story. So super quick. We were coming back from our beautiful, amazing trip in Belize, and we watched on the plane Finding Dory. I love Finding Nemo, and Finding Dory was like just as fun and exciting. It was totally perfect after already going scuba diving with all the fishes and the stingrays and all that fun stuff. And ultimately, the moral of the whole story that I got was one, following your intuition, right? And intuition is something that I believe everybody has innately, right? But we don't always think about listening to it. We don't always, sometimes in the chaos and stress, like we're not paying attention to the fact that messages are everywhere, right? And Dory in the story, like everything, that wasn't supposed to rhyme. Everything came down to what was the most fun for her. And whenever she followed her intuition, it was always like, cool, like, well, what should I do and where should I go next? Like, okay, what's the most fun? And that was what I got from it. And so I thought this year, I wanted to share something with everybody that I think is really fun as far as following your intuition. And it's this game that I call Tap In. And I used to do it a lot more. To be fully transparent and fully real, I used to do it so much more. And it started even in a trip in Peru. And we played this game, and just the things that happened out of this were so synchronistic, quote unquote, right? Just things that you're just like, holy crap, you can't pay for better alignment than that with this specific game. And so I thought it would be quite entertaining and fun, as Dory would follow her intuition and do, to share it with you guys. So I am starting tonight late. My goal is to, especially for this year, so one of my resolutions is to do this for everybody every day at noon. So kind of like a lunch break live thing. And see, I really would love everybody's interaction in it too. So first I'll tell you kind of how it goes. And then you can also decide whether it's something you want to partake in or not. But either way, every day, my goal is to do it at noon. So here's how it goes. Think of a question that you would want to know. Something that you would ask a psychic, something that you would really love your intuition to tell you if you could hear it, right? Something not too vague, but also, I don't know, I don't really want to say too specific either, because messages come, like I said, through everything, right? So first, if you have a question, hi guys. Sorry, I haven't been watching the comments at all. So yes, as I continue this, I will be watching the comments so that if anybody has a question, hence you tap in the question or write in the question in the comments, and I'll be able to utilize your question fully real time. Cool? So first, thinking of a question, like I said, something that you would want to know. And then here how do I switch this around? Okay, here I'm going to show you a little bit what I have. Okay, we're at my casa. So I have a selection of books. I have this one opened because I kind of started early already with a question. So, of course, Barbara Marciniak, right? Amazing. This one, oh my God, ET 101. If you guys don't have that, it's kind of amazing. Earth Grids. These are just the ones I'm working with right now, okay? Doreen Virtues, Angels 101, always amazing. Women Who Run with Wolves, amazing. This one was the first kind of personal awareness book that I found in Australia that's just been kind of my personal guidance. It was just on my journey as I was beginning. I think I was like 19 when I found that. Fell off a shelf. And of course, right, Brilliance. And then we have, I'm still drinking eggnog for this year. The Field, right? Still another really, really amazing book, The Quest for the Secrets of Force in the Universe. So we're kind of going with like, these are just the few that I've like picked out right now, right? Maybe, I have my card decks. Well, that's one card deck. Maybe we'll go with card decks kind of a little bit in the future. But overall, this is kind of what I'm working with right now, right? And so what happens, let me switch this back again. Okay, so what happens is you ask a question and then, hey Brittany, hey Tony, you ask a question and then what I'm going to do is using these books, I'm going to choose randomly, completely my intuition or whatever ends up coming through me, right? Not that I'm specifically channeling. I want to be really, really clear on that. And so I'm going to pick one of the books and then I'm going to flip open to one of the pages. I'm not paying attention to anything. I'm holding your question in my mind, in my intuition. And then I'm going to open the book and then read basically from that section of the book, that excerpt. So, funny, as I said, I kind of, with Barbara's book, Earth, the Palladian Keys of the Living Library, which is an amazing book. Oh my God. I used to listen to that as I went to sleep, like dreaming. Your dreams are like off the hook if you do that. Anyways, I wanted to just test it out a little bit. Like I said, this is something that I've done this before and I want to get into doing it more. And so this is helping me do it. And I thought I would take you guys along with me on the ride. So I kind of just set an intention, or not set an intention. I kind of just said, okay, what's going to be the energy for 2017? Like what's going to be our, collectively for everybody, what's going to be our energy for 2017? And funny enough, I flipped open to Barbara's book, Earth, and so this is what happens. I'm just going to read it. She started talking about women's moon cycles, hence menstrual cycles, for all you gentlemen specifically. I like to call them moon cycles. And the power in that energy and the power in that that essence of what it is, right? And so that it could be an uncomfortable conversation for some people. I don't know. Some guys may be grossed out about it, but either way, it's a really powerful part of a woman, and energetically and physically, and it's her most intricate time of her own ceremony, so to speak, right? But in relation to the question of what the energy is going to be of 2017, I started reading it, and it said, women save their menstrual blood in pouches and use it to heal wounds. There are many things that women can do with their blood. Some of you don't like the idea that you are a woman. I'm not sure about that, but maybe some. When your bleeding occurs, you find it unpleasant, uncomfortable, okay, well, there we go. Painful, inconvenient, an inconvenient time and experience. Men often have no idea what goes on. That's kind of true, except if there's men who get the man's app for their ladies' menstrual cycle. It's kind of a major plus. Men often have no idea what's going on, and so it's an awkward time for them as well in the days ahead. Let's see. In the days ahead, contact the goddess, open your heart, and discover where this can take you and teach you from within. This process lies many of the keys to bringing the goddess back onto the planet. There is a need to return to the sharing of power through partnership. again, I'm just going to reiterate. I asked the question, what would the energy of 2017 be? I'm not kidding. I'm just being fully transparent that I kind of started ahead of time. So you're getting it like kind of in real time and kind of not. So I just, like I said, wanted to be transparent in the fact that I asked the question ahead of time. But this is genuinely the page that showed up. I'm not kidding. It goes on to say, so again, what's going to be the energy of 2017? There are many more mysteries to unveil, unfold, and reinterpret. Some of you may be wondering why we are covering this subject. It is very important. It actually says that in italics. If you're not interested in the goddess energy and the mysteries of their cycle, we will say to you that you will miss an integral part, or an integral, Jesus, it's too late to be reading right now, part of life, and will not understand what is occurring on the planet. If it turns you off, or if you think it is irrelevant, you are completely missing the point. I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see, like, legit. This is from page 97. Let's see. You're completely missing the point. This is one of the most powerful teachings that we can give you at this time to assist you in understanding what is coming. Again, not making that up. Page 97. If you have it, look it up right now. What you need to do completely and totally, men and women, is honor the goddess vibration that comes through your hearts and helps your hearts open. That's badass. So to me, and that's just for my interpretation of this, yes, I'm a literal person, so I can look at it literally, and yet at the same time, it's really for everybody. To me, what that says is it's not just about the woman. It's not just about us women, you ladies out there. It's about, hey girl, love you. It's not just about a woman or women in general. It's about the energies of the masculine and the feminine essence. And so I know there's been so much conversation about this balance of masculine and feminine energies in between, depending on what circles you're in. And, you know, it's not such a woo-woo conversation. Like, everybody has masculine and feminine energy. You know, women's or feminine energy is more creative. Masculine energy is very driven. And it's how we balance the two, in partnership and within ourselves. And so to me, it's saying that the energy of 2017 and just us collectively as a whole for men is to embrace further this feminine energy and the respect of that and the honoring of that within ourselves. And the planet in and of itself is more feminine energy. You know, the sun is more masculine energy, but it's also, the sun is what gives energy to the feminine into the planet. So it's really being able to honor the planet, honor the creative side of you, honor that flow, that, this is for guys and girls too. It's like, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, just to be real, like, I feel like sometimes so many men are like, not the ones in certain circles, right? Like, a lot of my friends really are open to this, but I feel like there's so much judgment around, you know, men who are supposed to be super masculine, and that's somehow not supposed to have feminine along with it because that's deemed as weak, or there's so much judgment around it. That's a whole can of worms. I'm not about to open that right now. But I feel like it's just really for everybody, where it's embracing that feminine energy within you, embracing that feminine energy within partnership, really creating that balance of the masculine, feminine, and the energy that creates together. I call it the nexus, where you have one energy of one person that's masculine, feminine balance, and then one energy that's, or the other energy that's masculine, feminine balance. And when you guys come together, just like in a Vesica Pisces, that center, that's the nexus. That's its own energy. And in that energy is feminine. So if we're all coming together and bringing energies together and connecting those, then the coming together energy, right where it merges, is feminine. And it has to be feminine because it's created. So it's creation, and creation is feminine energy. So so everything else that I'm getting is, it's everything that you want to create. Who do you want to be this year? Who do you want to become more of that maybe you haven't been, or that you have been afraid to? You know, I equally have that. I've still got fears that come up. You know, I was nervous even pressing this live button. So, who do you want to be this year? What creative energy wants to come through you? And being able to put rituals or something in place that helps cultivate and honor those creative energies so that you can be more of who you are and bring more of your light to the world and more of your message to the world, and whatever that is for you in your work, in your personal life, whatever it is, but really taking the time to get into that, in touch with that feminine energy so that you can cultivate all other energies. You can't have the masculine without feminine. You can't have the feminine without masculine, not in an equally balanced manner. And so I'm all about balance, right? But that's kind of the message that that's what my interpretation of that was for at least the energy of 2017. So let's see. Hang on. I'm going to scroll through here and see if congratulate. Okay, so they're sending me messages. Did anybody write a question? I don't know if anybody wrote a question. If not, I'm going to say one. Oh, thanks, Sevi. You guys are awesome. Love you. Okay, cool. So nobody wrote a question. So I'm just going to encourage you that if you want to watch tomorrow at noon, I'm going to do this again. And if you have a question, then feel free to post it. If it's a private question and you kind of just want it answered, feel free to private message me, and I'll do it completely anonymously, just as like an overall general. But I'll use then, we'll do this right now. I'll use, I was talking to my roommate, Adam, and I asked him a question, and he said, oh God. So without opening a can of worms, given the fact that Trump is our president, in all that that means, what's going to be the, how do we get the most out of that experience? Was that said politically correct enough? And so what I'm going to do is, so thank you, Barbara. So let's see, Trump, I think I'm going to go with Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And okay, so here I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do at the same time. Okay, so just holding, I just set an intention that anything that that I'm asking comes through clearly and with clarity and, you know, full angelic, and bring in all the teams of protection and all of that, and just really that it's for the highest purpose and the highest good, right? So with Trump being our president, how do we get the best and most out of this experience, at least this year? So literally all I did was open it up. Where are we? File. Okay, I'm going to switch it around now. I don't know. Do you guys want, well, you can either watch me reading or you can watch the book. Oh, you have a question. Maui or Ireland right now? Maui or Ireland what right now? To move there? Are you thinking of moving there? Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so Millionaire Mind actions. Okay, so Trump being president, how do we get the most out of this year? If you guys have the book, The Millionaire Mind, this is on page 137. And literally all I do is I just use my intuition and like, okay, where am I supposed to read? Left page or right? It just said right. Or I said right. Or my intuition said right. Whatever it is. Like the goal is also just to learn how to just listen to the first thing that comes up and what your intuition says. So that's the goal in supporting with this game. Tap in. So Millionaire Mind actions. 1, practice thinking and creating ways of having both. Sorry. Okay. Oh my God. Whenever alternatives are present to you or presented to you, ask yourself, how can I have both? So this goes, because there's so many different opinions. God, I don't really have to tell everybody how many different opinions. I think everybody's got it. Like who should be what, and like even just the whole election, all that stuff. Oh God, I hope this conversation doesn't open up a terrible can of worms. But how do we have both? How do we come to terms? How do we work with both of everything? So that's number 1. Practice on thinking and creating ways of having both. Number 2, become aware that money in circulation adds to everyone's life. He's definitely focused on money. So that could be a positive. If we really wanted to flip it, that could be a serious positive. Each time you spend money, say to yourself, this money will go through hundreds of people and create value for all of them. So what I really like about that, and a lot of the work that I've been doing with NLP and stuff too, is really how to reframe something and flip the perspective on it. So it's like, are we concentrating on everything that's going to be negative, or are we going to see that there's what the positive aspect is? And technically, seeing more of the positive is the way to a millionaire mind. It's a nice reminder for myself too. Right there with everybody else. So number 3, money will go through hundreds of people and create value for all of them. So thinking of yourself, number 3, thinking of yourself as a role model for others, showing that you can be kind, generous, loving, and rich. That's from Wealth File. Number 13, rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income. I'm going to just let that one be for the interpretation of the question and let you guys use your own intuition on what you think that is relative to how we can see Trump being the president for at least 2017. So practice thinking creative ways of having both, become aware that money is circulating and adds to everyone's life, and thinking of yourself as a role model and showing that you can be kind, generous, loving, and rich. So, love that. Okay, so Maui or Ireland? Hey, Walker. Oh, love you, sister. Okay, haven't seen you in a minute. Walker's in Sedona, which is kind of where I was doing this whole process. We used to do this I think almost every single week. We'd get a bunch of people over and we'd just ask questions. And then somebody would open up the book and read. And that's where I was saying, and when we did it in Peru, we did it with the book Keys of Enoch, which is such an amazing, powerful book. And if I was in Sedona again, I could walk down the street and about 5 people would have that book. Here, I have no idea where to find it. I'm sorry to say I don't even have my own copy. Got to get on that. But yeah, that was really I really want to be able to do a couple questions with that book because it's really, really amazing. And the answers that came out of that. And if you don't know what Keys of Enoch is, it's really powerful, powerful book. But yeah, this whole thing kind of started when I was in Sedona and it was just fun. So again, I'm all about doing what feels fun. And this felt like fun. So I don't know. I thought, again, I would share it with you guys. So to David, let's see, Maui or Ireland right now. So My intuition tells me that I don't know if that means that you're trying to move there or somebody's coming from there or going to there or whatever it is, but I'll ask the question. So, Maui or island? And I'm going to use my favorite book, right? Power, Personal Power Through Awareness. Okay. I'm just going to read it. So all you said was Maui or Ireland, was it? Yeah. Keys of Enoch on deck. Girl, tell me you have that book. Bring it out to LA. Okay, so Maui or Ireland. Sorry, slight ADD. I'm jumping all over the place. I totally get it. And that's what happens when it's live. So it's interesting that for you, David, this question, the name of the chapter is Handling Pain. So I don't know entirely what that's about. I don't know you that well. I'm more than happy to have a private conversation with you about this and just offer any insights that I can. I'm totally cool with that. But I'm just going to read then, because this could mean 1,000 different things. Pain is only triggered by another person when there is already pain within you. We all have pain within us. Everybody, I was just having this conversation. Like, everybody's been bruised. Everybody's been, fuck, man, that just hurts. Everybody's just been through their own crap. Like, really, like, people have been assholes to assholes, and then more assholes end up becoming assholes because somebody was an asshole. That's just what happens. So, sorry. Ultimately, everybody's got stuff and everybody feels hurt in some way. And of course, then that brings up different triggers for all of us. And the goal is always to have those triggers come up so that we can be conscious of them and see them and then give more love to them. Because when we go into the pain, then that's when the pain disappears. The more that we run away from the pain, then it continues to persist. So I don't know what's coming up. Are you running away from something, or are you maybe wanting to run away to another place, thinking that if you leave, then your pain won't follow you? I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just reading and sharing what my intuition is saying. So I'm just going to read one more quick little section for this towards David's question. So every time another person creates pain in you, it is a gift. Whew. I think we can all handle that one. It is showing you an area in which your heart has not yet learned to be open. It is showing you a place where you may bring more light into yourself. You have drawn certain people into your life to show you the places where you need to become more open. Part of your lesson will be to stay open and loving, even when you are acting in a way that used to cause you pain. Let's read that again. Part of your lesson will be to stay open and loving, even when you're acting in a way that used to cause you pain. Again, I think we can all sit with that one. Nobody's exempt from that. Not one person is exempt from pain. Love it a little bit more. Give it a big, fat Care Bear hug. That's cheesy, I know. I love it. Before you approach the other person with, embarrassing, don't know that word. Recrimination? Oh, recrimination. Before you approach the person with recrimination, closing your heart and pulling away, creating more separateness and pain, stop. Ask yourself if you are willing to bring in light. That's so hot. That's so awesome. That's so juicy. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around just so that you can see it. So again, you know, I'm not reading from nothing. Okay, where are we? There. And maybe if you want, I don't know if you can take a snapshot on live. Pain is only shared by another person where there is already pain within you. Awesome. Oh, cool. David, you got it. Awesome. Cool, guys. So, like I said, that's my game, Tap In. And it involves asking questions and learning to listen to your intuition more, because ultimately there is messages from everywhere. I truly believe that. It's something I've gotten better with listening to. And just noticing and making it a fun game. Like, is it a message on the radio? Is it something you pass by somebody and you overhear one thing that they say and that just happens to be related to the thing that you're thinking about? Why do we some of us use oracle cards and all this different stuff, you know? So sometimes we're a little hard-headed and we need tools to help us see things a little bit more clearly. And hear things, since our intuition is more of like the subtle voice. It's not the like beat over your head voice. That's your ego, you know? It's that thing that's like a soft suggestion. And in the chaos and craziness of things, we don't always hear that. I know some of you guys already know this. Again, I always say reminders always helpful. So, this is something I'm going to be doing for myself to, again, just always strengthen my intuition, so that no matter where the messages are coming from, or even if I sit down and be like, okay, what is the question that I have? And doing something like this and using an array of, you know, like some of these, are a little woo-woo books. What can I say? I lived in Sedona for 3 years. I went there. And some of them are personal development books, and some of them have to do with money. So I like to use an array of things to really be grounded in, you know, bringing that conscious and higher awareness into a more rooted understanding and perception. So that's why I like to use a lot of different books. But this is what felt fun to me. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a question, again, I know I'm doing this tonight. I just wanted to, part of my goal was to do it, to start it off with the year. And so, I'm a little late with that tonight, but my goal is, if you have a lunch break, noon Pacific time, that's when I'm going to be playing Tap In. So if you want to join me, cool. Either way, I'm going to be there with either questions that you write in or questions I have. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting. I love you. Walker, help me find out. Either can I borrow it? Maybe I'll just take a trip to Sedona. Always want to come back. But hey, if anybody else is in Los Angeles and knows of how I can get my hands on the Keys of Enoch, super kind of important. So I love you guys. Bye. Happy New Year. Have an amazing day and an amazing night, and be awesome and badass and love your pain. Okay, bye.